Welcome back to Jersey Matters. We continue our conversation now with Tom Bracken, the CEO of the New Jersey Chamber of Commerce. Everybody's trying to get Amazon to come to their state. From what you hear, New Jersey actually has a shot at it. And I guess it's Fort Monmouth they're talking about?
Oh, I've heard many different iterations of where. I know there are 236 cities bidding on this, and there are also cities in Canada and Mexico. So, you know, I'm not sure what the final tally will be and what the final decision-making process will be, but the one thing I do know is that we have told the world what our package is. When you're bidding on something, do you tell the world what your package is? Because that's a target. Then, because of the dollar amount, you know, people can target that and up the ante $1 or $10 or something. So to me, that's not working in our favor. Maybe nobody's willing to spend $5 to $7 billion that we're willing to spend in tax credits, but you know, the world knows what we're going to offer.
It almost sounds as if when I heard the offer, it seemed like that was more political, to say we're doing everything we can to get this. Here's how much we're offering, and the reality was they didn't think they were going to get it.
I think New Jersey is a long shot. I mean, I think that the criteria that I've read that's been laid out, we do fall short in some of the criteria. But you know, who knows? Maybe our price tag is so attractive that that'll overcome any of the negatives that we have.
Let me move on to tax reform. I would imagine that all Chamber of Commerces look at the tax reform and see a lot of positives.
Yep. Except for the SALT issue, state and local taxes. State and local taxes, if they are not allowed as deductions for federal income taxes in New Jersey, the highest property tax state in the country, then many of the people in New Jersey are going to lose significant federal deductions. That's a big, big issue.
But isn't that the problem in all tax reform, though? You have to get rid of deductions somewhere, but nobody wants their deductions to be taken away, because SALT's not a big problem in Alaska or Indiana or Montana.
In the middle part of the country, it's not a problem. In many states, it's not a problem. For the West Coast and the East Coast, where most of the wealth is, where most of the population is, it is a big problem. Connecticut, New York, New Jersey, California, places like that, I think, have very significant issues with that concept. So I don't know how it all is going to shake out, but that probably of the tax reform that's been proposed is the most problematic issue. Increasing the standard deduction, that's wonderful. Getting rid of the estate tax, that's wonderful.
Corporate tax,
that's wonderful. It makes us more competitive. Simplifying the tax code is wonderful. There are a lot of good things.
Will that stimulate growth? The claim is this growth will be stimulated so much by this, especially because of the cut in the corporate tax, that'll make up for the deficit.
The entire package, as is proposed right now, is a net positive the way I see it. Maybe not right now to New Jersey because of the SALT issue, but overall it's a net positive for the country. I think it'll generate jobs, it'll generate income, which is what we need. So it's a step in the right direction, but the devil's going to be in the details.
I would imagine that when it comes to healthcare reform, the number one thing that concerns businesses right now is the uncertainty.
What is it?
You have no idea what's going to happen, and so how do you plan payroll in the future?
Exactly.
Is that the problem?
And the premiums right now, with all that uncertainty, are going through the roof. I mean, they are just incredibly high, and it's because nobody knows. The insurance companies don't know what's going to end up being in place, and therefore they are pricing for that uncertainty.
One last question. You had an affordability summit. You had a business summit, and you talked about making New Jersey more affordable.
Yes.
You've had a couple of these summits. Has there been any changes?
Oh, sure. The first summit we had 2 years ago resulted in our coalition, Opportunity New Jersey, being very much in the forefront last year with the Transportation Trust Fund renewal, the estate tax elimination, the increase in the retirement income benefit deduction. We were front and center in that debate. What we did with the second iteration of that summit, which was about a month ago, or a little over a month ago, we got back together to say, okay, now is the time, with the election coming up, to have a second summit to talk about updating where we were from the first summit. and present the gubernatorial candidates with a more updated menu of issues that we think are mandatory to be addressed right now for us to move forward in the right direction. So we had a good result from the first summit. We issued our white paper about a week ago. We are going on the road and making presentations about that. We see a lot of what we said in our white paper being introduced in the gubernatorial debates and dialogue, which is nice.
Give me one example of that.
The affordability issue. The affordability issue that we've been talking about from day one of our coalition is now front and center in every single debate you hear.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
I really appreciate it. Always appreciate your time. Thomas Bracken, CEO of the New Jersey Chamber of Commerce. When we come back. Still to come on Jersey Matters, the exploration of space continues, and much of the work is being done in New Jersey. We'll take you there so you can see it firsthand next.